Buenas tardes todos. Eso es Club Campo de Villa in Madrid. Welcome to GCTV. My name is Mark Lewis. Hello and welcome everybody along to stage 5 of the Global Champions League. And quite remarkably and perfectly timed, the sun in Madrid has just exploded up over us as we get GCTV underway for the start of the weekend. Let's bring you up to speed, bring you up to context for where we are in the season. The Cannes Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, lead the championship standings. The Shanghai Swans won famously on home soil back in Shanghai a couple of weeks ago. That is your previous winner. That is your championship leader. You are now up to speed. Before we get to unpack what is going to take place here in Madrid, there is a lot still to come later on in the show today. We're going to chat to some big celebrities here in Madrid that have come through for today's opening round of the Global Champions League. We'll talk to Frederick de Backer. We'll hear from the Cannes Stars. We'll hear from Riesenbach International. But before we do, let's take a breather. Let's see and remind ourselves what took place in Shanghai a couple of weeks ago on stage 4 of the GCL.
Scandinavian Vikings to take the lead in Shanghai. Oh, and it's down. Luckily, the fast time of Hendrik van Eckermann keeps Scandinavian Vikings in front of Cannes Stars. Small margins. Skau knows that. And Skau, he does it, and the time is good. Skau has given Istanbul Warriors the lead here in Shanghai. Julien Auquetin. Oh, it's gone! It is gone! And that throws things around. It is not Doha Falcons on the podium, it is Istanbul Warriors. The ovation from the home crowd, the fans. The 2019 Super Cup winners now here in Shanghai. There comes the home team, Shanghai Swans, first clean sheet of the season.
I had a very good feeling yesterday already. We had experienced horses. Pius is a super rider. He jumped 2 times a clear round from me, gave me confidence, and also, like I said, having 3 poles or the possibility to having 1 or 2 poles down and still winning is something exceptional. And of course here in our home show in Shanghai feels very good.
First clean sheet of the season belongs to the Shanghai Swans, who win on their return to Shanghai. It had been 5 years since global champions had been in Shanghai. And what a fairy tale story for the home team. Via Switch, they're going on to win alongside Daniel Deusser. Superb victory for them. The big question is now for a team like the Shanghai Swans to pick up maximum points. What did the rest of the teams do over that weekend? How does it affect the overall championship table? Well, this is what the rankings look like now at the end of Shanghai, coming into Madrid this weekend. Cannes Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, hold on to the championship lead. And if you think about it, they have only lost the championship lead over 1 stage through 4. So for 3 of the 4 stages this season, the Cannes Stars have held on to that championship lead. They were co-leaders at 1 stage, but now outright leaders by just 3 points. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses, make a big jump. And Doha Falcons, punching well above their weight, many would say, are up to 3rd place now. Consistency has been key for them. Prague Lions, who did lead at 1 stage after that wonderful performance over the stretch of Miami and Mexico, dropped down, and the Shanghai Swans jump into 8th place. Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem, just 1 point behind Riesenbach International, powered by Kingsland Equestrian. They will look to have a good weekend this weekend, and because of that, well, they might make up some major points as well. Speaking of one of the big surprises, we mentioned the fact that the Doha Falcons have been going about their business very quietly, very calmly, but very consistently, always picking up good points along each of the 4 stages that have taken place thus far. We thought it's, of course, very important then that we take a moment to sit down and get to know them a little bit better, and maybe also find out the key to success this season. This is the Doha Falcons.
So we're here with Jerome Geary and Willem Vermeer of the Doha Falcons, who have had a really strong start to the season in this GCL, including, of course, a podium finish in Shanghai last time out. Jerome, to start with you, you rode in Shanghai. What's the feeling in the Doha camp after getting on the podium?
It was my first global in Shanghai for this year, and we finished with a podium. I hope this week we have one step more. That's second or first is the goal. Then we will see, but we're in a good position for the moment.
You weren't far away in the other legs as well, and obviously third overall in the standings. In terms of, we've seen all your riders so far, how much confidence does that give you in the whole team?
We didn't have to force anything because all the riders are with good horses, and it's not that we have to take Jerome every time or me every time, or so all the six can do it, I think.
We are a really good, strong team. The teammates, we are friends. We know each one. Women and me, we're competing in Belgium for the same team also. That's honestly, we have a really, really strong team this year, and we really expect to stay on the top until the end.
So, looking ahead at transfers, is there any rumours flying around in Doha Falcons of people coming in, or any moves that don't? You're only 3 points off the top, equal with Stockholm Hearts at the moment. Do you need to strengthen?
I have no idea, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. We need a stronger one. But I hear that Julien normally is in for the first part. He doesn't know yet for the second part. But it would be nice if he can stay with us because we are strong. We have a strong team with good result for the moment. If we can continue like this, it would be good.
So within the team, you're all different characters, different personalities. Who's the member within the team? If you're having a tough day, they're the one that will put their arm around you and lift the vibe.
Yeah, but I think we are all very competitive riders. We are used to a lot. So, but who is the strongest one to do that? Maybe even Jerome?
No, not a stronger one. Just when we have a good day, we celebrate, and when we have a bad day, we're thinking of next day. That's sometimes it's like this. It's a sport. We know we are all together in the good situation and also in the bad moments.
So if a rider's had a bad round, who's the one you really avoid when they've had a bad round?
Simon, I don't know.
Simon Delesio.
Yeah, we have to let him a little bit alone. 15 minutes, and then we can start speaking with him. But okay, it's the same with everyone. We are really competitive, and when we go inside, we want to do really well. And when it's not working, of course we are disappointed. But it passes quite quick because we know that's the day after we can change.
Aims for here in Madrid. What realistically can you achieve here? Can you get the first win of the season?
Yeah, of course we would like to have a first win, but okay, tomorrow normally I'm complete with Callum and Simon with the other one in the first round. In the second one we don't know yet, but I think it will be Willem because he has his best horse also here, and Simon has two good horses. That's I think we have a good chance to have a podium this week again.
And the Doha Falcons knocking on the door for a rather unlikely championship lead, and with these kind of riders here in Madrid, it does mean that a good performance could perhaps be expected. And a very, very cool story, by the way, around the horse of Jerome Geary this weekend here for GCL Round 1. Callum, who got injured coming out of Prague in 2022, now almost 2 years later goes on to jump its first big class in that amount of time. So keep an eye out for the Doha Falcons, 7th out the gate today, and in particular for that incredible 18-year-old stallion of Jerome Geary, making a big return to a big class for the first time in many, many years. But GCL is all about the team at the top. It is all about the teams, the hunter versus the hunted. And as it stands, the Camstars, powered by the Iron Dames, are the team that everybody is hunting. Are they feeling that pressure? How do they perform under that pressure? Well, we caught up with Sophie Hinners to find out just how the team's feeling ahead of this weekend in Madrid.
Sophie Hinners, great to see you back at the GCL. Your first time since Doha, where you made it look really easy by winning your first ever event out there. How do you see the season so far with the team now also top of the championship?
I think the season has gone really good for us so far. We are still in the lead. And we will try to keep that position.
What were your main learnings from the event in Doha in the first leg?
It was my first GCL show, so I was really excited for that. And also Sinclair, who's 9 years old, jumped the first time such a big show. But I learned that he can do it and we can do it. So I'm really looking forward to jump here in Madrid.
The team spirit through this season has been really, really clear. How did that opening win help sort of catapult that team spirit? And what's it like to live within that?
Our team spirit is amazing. We have so many great people standing behind us. I'm very thankful to be in such a great team. But also under us riders, I think we have a special team spirit. We are bonding together, us girls, and it's such an honor to be in that team.
To be top of the leaderboard comes with its own pressures because now everyone else is aiming for you and the lead isn't huge by any means. How does that change how you approach this weekend in Madrid?
We always want to be as good as possible. It's kind of just the beginning of the season, so we have to fight to keep the position. But every week is new, so we will try the best and hope that we have a good weekend.
Sophie, in interviews that we've done together in the GCL, you're 1 from 1 on predictions so far. You predicted previously you'd win, you did. How will Can Stars do this week in Madrid?
I hope that we win again.
It's an obvious prediction from Sophie Hinners, and the big talking point here, we remind you, is that out of the 4 stages of the 2024 season, the Can Stars, powered by the Iron Dames, have led for 3 of them. So this is not one lucky performance that has given them some points. They have been the best team of the championship in 2024 for 3 of the 4 stages already. So is this now turning into a legitimate championship fight? You would have to think so for the Can Stars. Where do they find themselves coming out today in the start list? That's a big question. Where does our championship leading team come out for Madrid? Have they received a favorable start position or not? They will be out quite early today. They will be the 4th team out the gate. Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, first team out the gate, followed by New York Empire. And the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, at one stage championship leaders. If you recall that wonderful run over Miami Beach in Mexico, they have now fallen down ever so slightly. And Razorback International, powered by Kingsland, we talked about how they are feeling this weekend. We'll hear from them a little bit later on. The Doha Falcons, followed by Falcons Wart United, who will be the first team after the break. That is how the start list looks at the moment. But now the big question is, out of those 14 teams on the start list, who is looking the most dangerous? Who perhaps might be the team to look out for this weekend? Well, we are joined by Frederick de Backer on the show to get that information completely. Frederick, welcome to the show. There were a lot of really good-looking teams to me on that start list, but there surely is just one that maybe looks a little bit better than the rest. Who do you think is standing out for Madrid round 1?
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Of course, we are talking about the teams that are competing in round 1. We don't know what they're going to do in round 1. So based on horse and rider combinations for Global Champions League in round 1, you have to look at Valkens Wart United, Gilles Thomas, the youngster with the experience of John Whittaker, Hermitage Cologne, that very much spoken about horse, much discussed stallion, alongside of Equine America, Nuc de Framport, is a combination to keep an eye on. Doha Falcons, as you already mentioned, they're high on the rankings. They didn't jump a lot of clears so far this season, but they've always been consistent and competitive. That's why they're so high in the rankings. Jérôme Guéry with Calum, Aya Melusina with Simon de Lestre, Willem Vermeer still waiting in the wings is a team to keep an eye out. Also for Prague Lions, remember last year here, Prague Lions, it was a horrible weekend for them in that first round with Niels Brunsels and Matador. There's no Matador on the start list this weekend. Brunsels came out with the looks already. The Grand Prix winner comes out already in round 1, and alongside of him it is Fernando Martinez Sommer on Korbacher. But the team to watch is Riesenberg International, powered by Kingsland. Just look at the numbers. Just look at the horses and the riders. It's Christian Koek, it's Philip Weishaupt. It's the dream team. I know it's a cliche, but it's the dream team back together with those 2 top horses. Just Be Gentle ends in a day. Last year, the leading 9-year-olds in the world. This year, leading 10-year-olds in the world. I mean, if you have to pick one team for round 1 to lead after round 1, surely that has to be Riesenberg International, Mark.
All right, Frederik de Backer, thank you very much. Just Be Gentle and Zinedine coming out for GCL round 1. Kingsland Equestrian powering the Razorback International team. Frederik's favourite to lead at the end of the halfway point today. Well, we had a similar feeling and felt that maybe it would be good to catch up with Razorback International's Philipp Weissaut. He jumped in Shanghai. That didn't go their way, but he, and as Frederik says, the dream team of Christian Kuckuck are back. Let's hear how he feels ahead of Madrid this weekend.
Crosses the finish line in the final round of jumping in Global Champions League. And Razorback International have won the Super Cup.
We had 2 unbelievable years in the past. We were first team ever winning both last year, the overall and the playoffs. So we knew that was special. We had also lucky moments and had the luck on our side. So I think we have had all our very great last year. Obviously this year will be tough to do what we did last year. Just the amount of wins we had last year and the way we won it was incredible. Things will not get easier the next couple of months. The Olympic Games are coming up. Means there's also some shows we need to do for the team, for the German team. So it will not make it easier. Also last year we were not like things went always good at the show, but we had Lutke breaking his hip, me breaking my foot, Owen McMahon breaking his elbow, all in like less than 2 months. So it was not that things went perfectly smooth last year. But this year everything went wrong what could go wrong. But now I think it's time to make it up. But we need to be very consistent now for the rest of the season, and that's why we started here with the strongest possible horse-rider combinations we have. For sure on the paper we don't have to worry about somebody, and on the paper we are strong. We thought actually we were very strong in Shanghai and we ended up last, so I have to be always careful with that. What happened in Shanghai was obviously with our new under-25 rider, Harry Allen, who is really strong. He was unbelievable in Doha. We were like, wow, this guy is going to make us a lot of clear rounds this year. He just had a bad distance to jump before. The horse got scared, stopped. This is something what should not happen, but happens. This is how our sport is. Schulze Topov is in good form, Christian and myself, so I think we are okay, and we're not really looking for somebody. We really trust Harry Allen. He just had a bad show. He has an incredible horse. He's an incredible talented rider, and this is absolutely not Lutke's way of doing things, that he's changing riders just because they're not performing at the show as good as he was hoping. Madrid is one of my favorite shows. It's very big. It's all traditional ring. I really like to jump here. It's something very special. In the last 2 years, we didn't see so many clear rounds in the Grand Prix. With the horses we have here, we don't have to worry. We have all the horsepower and all the scope in them. The ring makes them perform very good. The horses, they feel it. It's a special show. I have Kobe and Zinedine here. I have a very good feeling on him for this weekend. We know we can always trust him, and he has delivered tons of good results in the Global Tour. And I hope for him that he's in good shape. He feels unbelievable. We are here to really make a big step forward and hoping it works out.
I am so excited to see this Razorback combination come out later today. It is signs and memories of what took place in 2023, to have Just Be Gentle, to have Zinedine come out. As Frederik said, the best 9-year-olds in the world have now become the best 10-year-olds in the world, and they are in desperate need of a strong performance here today. And again, if they cash in and take maximum points, earn the 30 points for a GCL stage win here today, they will make up some serious ground on the overall championship standings. Is a championship defense still realistic for Razorback International? That's the big question, and it starts here with the win in Madrid, if that is to be the case. We take a quick break. When we return, we start to find out what has been designed by course designer Santiago Varela here today for Madrid. Always challenging when it comes to Santiago Varela. We'll hear from some riders. We'll open up the course walk. That and more here on GCTV. Welcome to Madrid. This is stage 5 of the Global Champions League.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
Welcome back to GCTV. Welcome back to Stage 5 of the Global Champions League. This is Madrid, and we are getting ready for the opening stage of today's action. Now, a big talking point throughout the rest of the day is what is the course? What is the course going to look like? We'll find out in a few moments' time. But before we get to the course and before we find out how it's looking, a long story around the fact of Long John Silver making its return here to Madrid. A very, very successful year back in 2023 for Long John Silver in the GCL and the Longines Global Champions Tour. Now, all of a sudden, back with some different riders. Let's find out what Geraldine Stroman has to say about that. Dan Strange standing by for us inside the ring with Geraldine. Dan, let's find out how the Istanbul Warriors rider is feeling.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Of course, Long John Silver, previously owned by Jan Vreeling, now with Geraldine Stroman. Geraldine, a debut on the GCL for you today, just 19 years of age, riding for Istanbul Warriors. How excited are you?
Very excited. I'm glad to be here. I think it's a great challenge to take on, and I'm trying to do our very best today. And yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Being on Long John Silver, his experience, does that help your relative inexperience at this level?
Yes, of course, because he gives me such a great and confident feeling, and I feel it was a partnership that we could establish up until today. I think we're hopefully ready to take on that challenge, and yeah.
Second in Shanghai for Istanbul. After a slow start to the season, how well do you think that the team can springboard off that now?
I think good. I think we have a nice team together today, and certainly we will all give our best and see where it brings us.
Efi Siahi from the team was injured, of course, in Doha. He's now back on a horse, but not here riding in Madrid. What's the news on him going forward?
He's in recovery, and he'll hopefully be back very soon with us in the team.
Geraldine, best of luck for your debut. I hope you and Long John Silver go brilliantly. Mark, back over to you in the studio. Geraldine in confident mood.
Thank you very much. Much to Geraldine Stroman up for the Istanbul Warriors today, powered by Carpe Diem. How are they going to perform later on today? That is the big question. What are they going to have to jump? Arguably, that is the even bigger question. Standing by for us to give us some reaction, some idea as to what to expect today, what has been put together by Santiago Varela, who will be looking to challenge these riders here today in round 1 and round 2. Frederick de Backer, welcome back to the show. What has Santiago Varela put together for us today here in Madrid?
Well, Mark, as always, it's not just about the course and about the fences and about the line. When you're going to Madrid, when you're going to the Club Campo de Via, it is always about the slope that everybody has to work with. It's a beautiful, beautiful big grass ring here in the Club Campo de Via, but there's a few lines that are crucial to really understand here in Madrid, and this is the center line, and this is the line that it's all about. That is the highest point on the course. It goes, this is actually what it looks like. It's a little bit of a roof. This is the lower part. All the way around, it is lower. All the way right here by the jury boxes and by the in-gate, it's all the way lower. And then it all moves up towards the center line. It's like really a dome coming up. And there's this center crest that is really the top of the wave, the top of that arena. And with that, Santiago Varela plays all the time. I'm just going to leave the center line standing so we really understand what we're talking about. For example, take a look at the line from 2 to 3. You see here from 2 to 3 that you're going, this part is uphill and this part is downhill. Now 2 to 3 looks like a slightly, what was it, a slightly forward 7, if I recall. But I'm working off Santiago Varela's plan here. So your first part is going uphill. So you have to make your stride longer as it walks longer. But in those last 2 strides, you're going downhill. So it's very easy to get trapped too deep to that first combination that Varela has put there. It's actually the same situation here. If you look at the line 5 to 6, this is the highest point. So your first 3 strides compared to your last 2 strides are again different. The first 2 strides come up, the last 2 strides go down, and again change the balance of your horse, change the balance of you as a combination. And at some points, the difference is actually much more subtle, much lighter. For example, the center line, 8, 9, 10. You're actually riding all the way on top of that crest, on top of that highest point of the arena. But it will have slight balance impact on how you ride that line. And also, like the last line, you jump the double of verticals, actually a little bit uphill. It's only in the last part that you flatten out. So this is actually, of course, not really to discuss the lines as much, Mark, but it's much more about the undulation that Santiago Varela is playing with. And already in the beginning, 2 to 3 and 5 to 6, those seemingly are straight away very crucial lines on how intense that that position on that high point really is. I got a notification from some of the riders who said, wow, fence number 4 is very close to the wall, to the video wall, which is right here, as you can see. Lots of time to be lost in this entire loop at 3 to 4 to 5. But yeah, it'll in the end depend on how much Santiago Varela is going to play with that undulation on that course, Mark. But it's always a very unpredictable course or arena to discuss, with so many variables depending on the horse that you ride, depending on where that position is, that fence is actually positioned, because 2 meters further means that you go 2 meters longer downhill or more uphill, and everything changes. So this is always a very interesting competition to follow.
All right, Frederik de Backer, thank you very much. So, fences 2 to 3, fences 5 to 6. How close is that fence 4 to that video board? And on top of that, that slope. How important is that going to be? How tricky is that going to be? Well, the riders are in the ring. You can see just over my shoulder that course walk then officially underway. If I'm not mistaken, Dan Strange standing alongside now with Muda Ziyada. So, what does the Mexico Amigos man think about this track? Dan Strange, over to you.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, we're here in the arena here in Madrid. Muda, from the Mexico Amigos, we've spoken about the undulation here. We're right by the first combination. So if we just walk it through a second. Firstly, your view on this combination coming downhill, and the slope's kind of going left to right here.
Yeah. Well, Santi was actually very smart. He puts the not really easy poles to see, and it's all the way down the hill, and it's pretty early in the class. Horses are not really finding their balance on this ground, up and hill and downhill. So yeah, it's a smart move. He's playing well with these up and down hills early in the class. And as we go down the class, he's also using it pretty well on number 4. He's also going uphill again, and then the line after is all the way downhill to the combination, and then at the end of the class, when the horses already has jumped enough, there's another uphill vertical, and all the way uphill to another oxer, and then all the way uphill to a third oxer, you know. And then he's using again that while you need to ride your horses all the way through the line to the in-gate, all the way uphill, he's asking you for a double of combinations, verticals at the end of the class, so that you have to get your horses back on the hocks. I think it's a very smart class, and we'll see how it's going to ride.
You ride 37th. How do you think If Looks Can Kill will handle it? They've gone well. You've gone well this season.
Yeah, well, I've actually had few faults in Mexico due to the up and down hills. Well, I think he's a very smart horse, and I think he learns quick enough. I hope it's the case today, and he would cope with it pretty well.
Good luck. Good luck today. Good luck to the Mexico Amigos. There's so much undulation here, Mark. It drops away down into the corner and then around to 4. And then in the second half of the course, it really does become flatter. So are we going to see more faults in the first half of the course? We wait to see. Mark, back to you in the studio. Great to hear from Muda.
All right, thank you very much, Dan Strange. Now, Muda Ziyada perhaps slightly concerned about the slope, having suffered already at the hands of a slope earlier on this season. He talks about If Looks Could Kill being a fast learner. He's going to have to learn very quickly with this very challenging track that Santiago Varela has put together here for us today in Madrid. Speaking of Madrid, this incredible city, this incredible arena, and as it stands now in the opening stages of GCL Round 1, the numbers will start to build, the crowd starts to get in, and by the time the end of the weekend comes, by the LGCT Grand Prix of Madrid, thousands of people are going to be inside this arena throughout the rest of the week. Throughout the combined turnstiles, we're going to have very impressive numbers here, as we always do in Madrid, as fans come out, not just for the fantastic food, for the culture, but of course for the world-class sport as well. And it's not just normal people like you and I that come out here to the Club Campo de Villa to watch the show jumping. And in fact, it's so much more here at the sporting club than show jumping. It is a multi-purpose sports club that attracts celebrities of all kinds here in the city. One such celebrity, one such superstar is in fact Álvaro Iglesias. He is the captain of the Spanish national hockey team. Dan Strange caught up with him as he made his way in to watch the Global Champions League.
We're down arena side with Spanish Olympic hockey player Álvaro Iglesias and captain actually of the Spanish team. Álvaro, welcome to the GCL. You're a Club de Campo player as well as a Spanish player. Big game this weekend against Polo Club of Barcelona, but you've made time to come to the GCL. How excited are you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, once a year we're lucky to have this great competition here in Madrid in Club de Campo, and I think everyone from the team will come even before training or afterwards. So yeah, it's great to have it.
Club de Campo, hugely prestigious as a whole sports club. This isn't your first time here though. You're a bit of a show jumping fan.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm lucky to know Edu Álvarez Aznar, which is one of the best riders in Spain right now, and one of I mean, he's married with a big sister of one of my best friends, so yeah, I am lucky to know him very well, and yeah, I'm here to support him, of course.
So today, focus on Madrid in motion. Do you think they can pull off a win here?
Hopefully, yes.
How noisy do you think the crowd will get if that happens?
It will be really nice. I mean, Edu is also a member of this club, and Saturday and Sunday morning with a full house, I think it's going to be crazy, and everyone is going to cheer for him for sure.
The other unusual Club de Campo link between the equestrian and the hockey is Santiago Varela's daughter, I believe, plays for Club de Campo women first team, but currently injured.
Yeah, she had a surgery with the ACL, and yeah, she will be back probably next season. But yeah, she's also a very good player.
Well, go and enjoy the GCL. I hope you have a great day today, and good luck for Sunday for the hockey match. Great to see Álvaro down here enjoying the show jumping ahead of his big weekend on the hockey pitch.
We attract all sorts here on GCTV in the Global Champions League. Álvaro Iglesias coming through to Madrid here to watch the competition. And I like the way that he tells us that he just happens to be a friend, happens to be basically family friends with Eduardo Álvarez Aznar, who is currently leading the LGCT overall championship rankings. Will be jumping for Madrid in motion here today. So, Spanish national captain coming out to Madrid. It's how we roll here on GCTV. There is a lot to come here today, loads of classes, loads of action, and of course the team competition, which is what you and I are here for. So stay with us on GCTV. It is Global Champions League Round 1 coming your way in a few moments' time, live from Madrid. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Not moving out of bed. Yeah, like if I bend my leg like this, it doesn't go straight.
faltan 2 minutos para arrancar el trofeo Marqués de Riscal, la primera manga de la competición Global Champions League. Saldrán en primer lugar los jinetes que compiten a nivel individual, 19, después tendremos una parada y a continuación saldrán los 14 equipos que compiten en la Global Champions League. Hoy es la primera manga en esta prueba, en la siguiente prueba se disputará la segunda manga de esa Global Champions League y la clasificación de la liga se establecerá por la suma de puntos de los 2 jinetes de cada equipo en las 2 mangas. Este trofeo Marqués de Riscal tendrá también su propia clasificación individual. Comienza el trofeo Marqués de Riscal, primera prueba de la Global Champions League, con un recorrido diseñado por Santiago Varela, su equipo de 12 obstáculos, 15 esfuerzos, tiempo concedido 76 segundos, competición al cronómetro, saldrán primero los 19 jinetes que compiten a nivel individual y posteriormente saldrán los equipos. Arrancamos ya la prueba con el actual número 2 del ranking mundial. Es el británico, ganador de 3 ediciones del Londres Global Champions Tour, Bernard monta Exit Remo.
Taking us into the Marqués de Riscal Trophy and the individual riders. First 19 of those before we go into the Global Champions League class. And starting us off over the line of full class, 12 number fences in all, time allowed of 76 seconds. It's the Olympic champion to begin things, the launching world number 2. British rider Ben Mayer with Charlotte Roster and Hannah Wright's 15-year-old Exit Remo.
Pues esto empieza muy bien, con un espléndido cero a cargo del campeón olímpico Ben Mayer, el británico ha hecho además un muy buen tiempo con Exit Remo, 63-22.
Perfect start from there, and it's a Remo 63-2-2 over the track. It is a one-round competition, so they set the target for the race.
Segundo jinete, representante de Italia, ganador de grandes premios, Global Champions Tour en Valkenswaard y en Shanghái, es Lorenzo de Luca con el veterano 16 años, Don Vito.
Etienne and riding twice been winner of the Grand Prix on launching Global Champions Tour in Valkenswaard and in Shanghai. This is the Polish farm's Don Vito, the 16-year-old from Lorenzo de Luca, racing.
dives over that upright. 16 years young, Don Vito. He goes in on 6, just like Mayer. Out of the Madrid combination, over to global champions. And rolls it. Kind of how he jumped fence 4, slightly on the angle, slightly on the inside, but knuckles it, rolls over his shoulder. And I think that from the facial expression, De Luca knew that he was a little bit too deep on that approach. Plank comes down next. And that is the and the last one as well, 65.55. It's 12 in the end for Lorenzo De Luca and Don Vito. Good start for the two of them. But then light rolls, rubbing faults from Lorenzo De Luca and Don Vito, who was so successful under Ben Mayer in the past. There rolls over that front leg.
Sitting at talent from Brazil now, Luis Felipe Neto da Azevedo. It's the 15-year-old Valentino Luciani, who also rode at the last year's under-18 championships.
Youngster Luis Felipe Neto de Azevedo with Valentino Massur, his French gelding, Canturo and Galoubet. Quiet 7, first uphill, then downhill. And that makes it 8 straight away. Coming out of that combination for Luis Felipe Neto de Azevedo and Valentino Massur. Takes his time now. 76 seconds is the time allowed. Really organizes a little bit more patience there from Valentino. And then he gets 12 is the score in 70.15.
Overall score of 12, 70.15 for a combination there. Luis Felipe Neto de Azevedo of Brazil.
Cuarto Felipe, primer representante francés, campeón de Europa individual en 2013, campeón olímpico por equipos en 2016. Es el francés Roger Vivos y monta Delph de Dinant.
France now, one of their legendary riders, has won the gold in teams European World and Olympics with multiple wins on the Global Champions Tour, including Cannes and Mexico. Roger Vivos now and Delph de Dinant HDC.
Roger Yves Bost on Delph de Dinant HDC. And his 11-year-old by Air Jordan. Deep stride. And the standard 7. Working on the 5 there, Roger Bost. Downhill. This is where the Azevedo was faulted. Bosti goes wider here on the turn, wider than Ben Mayer, then squares up fairly late, and look at how he has to reduce the pace with that angled approach, the corner that he really rode, instead of the smooth turn that Ben Mayer and Lorenzo De Luca both rode. Bosti is still clear, but he is not near the time of Ben Mayer. Leading time 63.22, there you have it. No time penalties coming up. Is quick enough for that. He is 2.5 inside the time. Roger Yves Bost jumps the second clear this afternoon here as an individual.
Going here into second place so far for Trigos de France and Dublin and that HDC. Some near 10 seconds over that of Ben Meadow, leads on 63.22.
Quinto jinete, representante de Bélgica, cuarto este año en el Gran Premio Global Champions Tour de Doha, ganador de la Copa del Mundo en Marinas, es Wilbermeyer con una antigua de 9 años de nombre Magic Van Burgenroad.
Top 5 in 2 of the big 5-star Grand Prix so far this season into Doha. Belgian rider, top 50 rider, going for here now, the 9-year-old.
Wilbermeyer and Magic Van Burgenroad and 9-year-old. There's his wife, Caroline Bongaerts, former international rider herself, and Willem's daughter, last weekend crowned Belgian youth champion. So it runs in the family. Oh, and there he's lucky on the back rail. Vermeer, who might come in for round 2 on Doha Falcons. This is fast. This is quite fast coming in. And then he really jumps his heart out. Lots of effort from this just 9-year-old. This is a meter 55 class. So it's quite the test for Magic. Vermeer keeps moving. He's not as fast as Meyer. Not many will go as fast as Meyer. That we know by now. And the plank. The final efforts for Magic and Vermeer. Them on 4 penalties. He is about 8 seconds off the pace of Ben Meyer. But it is around 4 for Willem Vermeer in 71.8.46 seconds. The Belgian with Magic van Burgenroad. So De Luca was 2 seconds slower than Ben Meyer, but De Luca had 12 penalties. Meyer, fastest clear. Here is Tiffany Foster, Olympus van der Molenberg, now renamed to Battle Cry. Olympus by Vigo Darsoy and Latano with the Canadian. Second show on European soil. You can really see him drift to the right through that combination. Started on the left and then drifted to the right. Also means that he jumps to the inside. Here does it again. Battle Cry with Tiffany. So it's 8 coming home for Battle Cry and Tiffany Foster. It is 8 in 73.47 seconds. It's 4th at the moment for Tiffany Foster and Battle Cry after the first 6 in this competition. And look where he starts, at the right, and then jumps, or at the left, and then jumps to the right. It's of course opposite for you watching on your screen, but imagine that you're in the saddle. That's how it went for Tiffany Foster. And for Battle Cry, here is home rider. Here is Sergio Alvarez Moya with Koningin. Carrera, this 9-year-old mare, Dutch bred. Carrera, the stallion of Jurvrieling, son of Cardento and Balubert.
greatest boy. Topside Zonder and Tino Nassis was also by Carrera, and it looks like he slipped there. Maybe or might have lost a shoe because he jumped this quite well. So you could see in the landing after the rail as if he had lost a shoe. Now grip looks okay actually for Sergio Moya, who together with all the Spanish riders here will be trying to win the first, or will be trying to become the first Spanish Grand Prix winner on Spanish soil. Finish with 8. Blank again. The blank for Sergio Moya and for Koningin, the Queen. 8 penalties with Ben Meer after the first 7, still comfortably in the top spots, and it stands. Here, different angle. There, for a moment, it looked like he slipped, but I don't think it's more the action of Moya trying to rebalance the Queen, the Mare, rather than a lack of grip.
In Hamburg just last week, it's the Beauty Mexico side, the passenger.
Andreas Cup with Billy Matador. To come in for Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. And round 2, I saw that Abdel Said is riding again on social media. If you follow him, you could see making his first steps back in the saddle. Also, FACI is returning from injury, so hopefully in a few stages time they're on full force. At the moment, Istanbul Warriors in 10th. The Global Champions League rankings. And coming home on 8 penalties there, Andreas Kau with Billy Matador now about to turn into the final line by the grandstands. $69.56 and 8 penalties. So Ben Meer really made it look easy with his very fast clear that still stands as the best result. Roger Bost clear 73.53, that was 10 seconds slower, and Will Vermeer is third as we speak, 71.46 seconds. Just stayed a little bit low over that first vertical.
Belgian Nicola Philippans, the combination winning out to America earlier on this year. The world number 15 will be 11-year-old.
Nicola Philippans with Derby de Riverland. Angled approach for the Mexico Grand Prix winner. He has to ride for the 7, really had to ride for them. Go out and get them. Mayer 63.22. And again the 5 get long. 7 into the combination. He's trying to stay level with Ben Meer. Here, this is exactly the same line as Meer. Much on the angle. Whoa, risky approach from Philippars. Pushing and pushing. Where can he breathe? Where can he reorganize? Here after Porsche. Cuts inside the flowers as well. Philippars really playing the game. Oh, but the plank is gone.
Again on the angled, on the tight approach, but the plank down. Would he have taken Ben Meer's time? Yes, 63.25. That was 0.03 of a second slower. And the Philippaerts with 4 penalties on Derby de Riverland. And so it is third place as it stands now, with the fastest on 4 penalties. Varela really inviting them to take that vertical on the angle into the double of uprights. Mariano Martinez, Bastida en Origi van het Gijzevem. Second of the Spanish riders. Origi by Thunder van de Zuidhoeven. Okay, well off the floor there. See how different that Bastida right into that line compared to Nicola Philippaerts. Bingo's the front rail. Bastida is on 4. Mayer still in the lead. First 10 combinations gone. And the Trailblazer still on top of the leaderboard. 19 individuals and then 28 riders for the teams. But they don't jump that line very easily, do they? 8 penalties it is. Final score for Mariano Martinez. 8 penalties in 72.07. Same score as Sergio Mola. He was just a touch quicker.
Otro jinete español que también estuvo en el último europeo y además fue el mejor representante español y clave en la clasificación olímpica del equipo nacional, campeón de España en 2022, Armando Trapote, monta Tornado.
The Spanish champion through to being a part of the European Championship team last year for Spain. Armando Trapote now in the official Tornado, yes.
Armando Trapote with the brilliant Tornado. Tornado VS by Toulon and contender. And that's an early rail for this exciting couple. Always fun to watch, very exciting horse. And his wife Teresa Blasquez driving forces behind the Sunshine Tour. Well, that plank will get into the minds of plenty of Global Champions League riders, if you ask me. 71.70 the time for Armando Trapote and Tornado.
Finishing the score 12 this time, 71.70, Spain's Armando Trapote and Tornado VS. Ben Maester leads against 63.2.
Seguimos con los 2-0 de Ben liberó el post con Nicola Philippaerts en la tercera posición con el 4 más rápido y en pista el número 12 de la prueba. Jinete chileno que ha estado en 4 Panamericanos, fue quinto en 2011, también estuvo en los Juegos Olímpicos de Londres, Rodrigo Carrasco, un tag crescendo.
Three-time Pan rider is Rodrigo Carrasco to go now for Chile as our next. And so the 12-year-old Clemson is Crescendo and BZ.
Chilean Rodrigo Carrasco. Rodrigo Carrasco with Crescendo MBZ by Clinton. The Chilean. A horse that was previously ridden by Willem Vermeer. As a matter of fact, Vermeer, who sits in fourth as it stands with his 4 penalties from round 1. This is an old friend of the Belgian, Rodrigo Carrasco. Now into the first technical line. Quite confident in his approach to the upright of Vola. And then a beautifully found room drifting to the outside into the double combination. Clear and faster than bossed Rodrigo Carrasco. Crescendo MBZ, it is second at the moment.
Going into second place so far, Rodrigo Carrasco of Chile on clearance 70.64. He goes in the second spot behind them there, and still well.
Ha conseguido mejorar. Otro jinete español, jinete que ha estado en 6 europeos, 3 mundiales y unos Juegos Olímpicos.
And happy faces on Kiss and Cry as there. Manuel Fernandez Saro comes to the start with his 10-year-old Isilis Dumenier.
Isilis Dumenier is the rider for Spain's Manuel Fernandez Saro next to go, and for the European Championship and Nations Cup rider next up for Spain. 13th the order of 19.
Isilis is by Classic Guamargo. And Tinker's boy, Azilis, that's the mother of this horse, competes at meter 50 with Sidney Schulmer in the USA. Horse bred by Jean-Luc Le Bourgeois in France. And for a long time now, part of the string of horses of Fanfa, as he is nicknamed. Since year of 5 already. The van that's based in the Netherlands. And so a son of Classic Guamargo, the Grand Prix winner, former Grand Prix winner of Simon de Lestre. Just round the flowers he goes. We saw Philippard cut the corner, stay inside of the flowers. And 9 to get home in the end. That makes it 72-6-1 for Manuel Fernandez Saro. He is quicker than Bost, slower than Rodrigo Carrasco and then Ben Meer. And so second or third place rather for Manuel Fernandez Saro from Spain. Best Spanish result as it stands.
Going into third place so far, top 3 at 72.61 for Manuel Fernandez Saro.
Careful angle there at the vertical, the global champions vertical.
Pues vamos ya con un jinete americano, un jinete estadounidense que habitualmente va muy rápido. Vamos a ver si arriesga aquí hoy en esta pista en la que ganó el Gran Premio Global Champions Tour de Madrid 2017. Ken Farrington.
As always, a combination to watch, regardless of what competition they're in. It is Ken Farrington with the fast Greya. Greya by Colestus. Greya is 10 out of a contender mare. Produced by Milan Kruse. There's Greya in Germany. And quietly
be brought up to the level with the American, who is a former Grand Prix winner here at the Club Campo de Villa. Extra stride goes there on 8 to Porsche. We've seen 7s, we've seen now 8s as well from Farrington. Mayer is out of reach, 63.22. He is aiming for second place as Greer has a little buck in that final line and comes home in 69.73. And that is for Ken Farrington and Greer now second place, overtaking Rodrigo Carrasco by a second. Mayer still out of reach, out of shot. Mayer still more than 6.5 seconds faster in the lead with Exi de Remo. But Ken Farrington didn't disappoint. Second place his share at the moment.
Asian Games rider and Olympic rider winner in Doha this season is Mike Kawai now. Mike, the rider from Japan, with the Lemuel promise set.
Mike Kawai and Promise go next. That is combination number 15 already from the individuals. A total of 19 individuals before we head over to the teams, the 14 Global Champions League teams. Promise by Gert-Jan Priamus and Graf Granus. Sire Gert-Jan Priamus was by Pucci and Granus, and Priamus was actually Audi's Gert-Jan Priamus. Very successful with Vincent Voden back in the day. Plenty of World Cups and Meter 60 Grand Prix under his belt, Priamus. And this horse bred by Jonas Sundblad, who is the wife of Vincent Voden. So it's a family story. Actually bred out of a Graf Granus mare. So line breeding, inbreeding on the famous Hanoverian stallion Granus. Mike Kawai and Promise Z. They keep it on 4 penalties, 75.05 for the pair. Mike with a fantastic double clear in Shanghai on Saxo de la Cour.
Top 10 in the Grand Prix of Doha this season, finishing well in the London World Cups before now, and winner of the Multi Asia Grand Prix 2 back in the UK. Jody Hall-McAteer now, based over in Europe, is the Matty Hall overrides.
Here's the return of the lovely Salt and Pepper with Jody Hall-McAteer. Salt and Pepper by Stolzenberg on a very strong Hanoverian downline. The Dutch on Kiss and Cry, the Schroeder family, always around Jody Hall-McAteer. She's based in Tubbergen in the Netherlands at the stables of Ben, Wim and Gerko. Eight as well for this pair. And Mayer rode 7, she went for 8. And it is the final line now for Salt and Pepper, who also takes down the plank. And so 4 penalties for Jody Hall-McAteer. Salt and Pepper 70.64 and 4 penalties. Not a bad run for his first big class back for Salt and Pepper and Jody Hall-McAteer.
70.64 for Jody Hall-McAteer of Great Britain.
Ya hemos visto antes a Ken Farrington, jinete ganador en el Gran Premio Global Champions Tour de Madrid en 2017, y ahora está en pista la pareja ganadora del Gran Premio Global Champions Tour aquí en Madrid.
18-year-old.
And there's the famous Kon Kidam with a rail at the first fence. Will you believe that? And straight away she retires. Oh, what happened? What happened there? Salatijse makes a gesture. I did not notice it myself. Was there somebody in her way? She circles. She did raise her hand, and it happened after the rail. The jury does not interfere. And Salatijse reapproaches. That puts her now on 8, and plenty of time penalties to come as well. And there she retires. A round of applause as well. Yeah, there she looks up to the jury. And what is she expecting? What happens? I hope we can see it in the replay. Yeah, somebody didn't see something. It must have been somebody of the ground crew in front of fence 1. And here, this is Marco Danesi in the camera, sports director, but of course it's up to the jury. Oh yeah, there was somebody behind the fence. Salatijse, tough start of the weekend. She has to put that behind her and move on. Teresa Blasquez Abascal with Naza de Toxandria. It's very colorful, very spectacular. Mare by Vertigo Saint-Benoît en Chopin van het Moleneind. Early fall down the hill on the 7 strides into the combination, the holding 7. If you wonder where he's got the color from, well, Vertigo Saint-Benoît was by Ogano Sitte. And Ogano Sitte was a chestnut himself with plenty of white. That's where the color comes from. Very fresh here on day 1, Naza de Toxandria. Grand Dame of Naza was Frangipane de Toxandria. Jumped at meter 60 level with Katie Lowry in the World Cups in New Zealand and Australia. So it's a well-traveled family. And Teresa comes home with 1270.91. They roll easily, the rails of Santiago Varela, because only 5 have gone clear after the first 18.
Finished with a score of 12.7.91, and Teresa Blasquez and Senegal.
Último jinete que compite a nivel individual, ganador de la Copa del Mundo de Budapest, representante de Sudáfrica,
and he really ran himself deep to that oxer coming out of the combination.
Lazarus for South Africa now, Team Equest 10-year-old by messenger for the multi-world championship rider. This is Oliver Lazarus.
Yesterday we did a market here.
It is Oliver Lazarus as the last of the individuals with Miss Paris. It is now a 10-year-old mare by Messenger and Berlin. And again, they roll very lightly also now for Lazarus. It is as he now comes around the turn into the final line. unlucky start of the weekend for Lazarus and Miss Paris. It is just sub 70 seconds, 69.98, but it is a score of 16 for the South African Oliver Lazarus and Miss Paris.
participantes.
16 there for Oliver Lazarus and Miss Paris at 69.98. And so then that leads us, we complete the individuals in the Madrid Trophy. But all the riders remaining, their scores will all count individually towards this. But we also bring the team element with the Global Champions League.
And so individuals have competed, 19 of them. And the man who came out first, who did not have the chance to watch any rider, well, he is still in the lead, and that is Ben Meyer, with Exceed the Rainbow first out the gate and still on top of the board. He is 6 seconds faster, 6.5 almost, faster than Kent Farrington. And then third is Rodrigo Carrasco. And that means that the teams come next. Global Champions League, as a tiny little spider drops onto the camera. There you have the standings. Mir, Farrington, Carrasco, Manuel Fernandez Saro, the Spaniard with the best Spanish results, and then Bost and Philipparts as the fastest on 4 penalties. So close to Ben Meyer, but the blank into the final line down for Nicolas Philipparts. That's all from here, from now for the individuals, because Global Champions League Stage 5 is coming up live from Madrid. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Global Champions League stage of 2024, it is the 5th stage of the season, with that colorful and historical city welcoming us to once again an exciting stage of the Global Champions League. This Global Champions League presented by Trofeo Marques de Riscal, the famous Spanish wine brand that is a long-time associate to this beautiful venue here in Madrid at the Club Campo de Villa, as well as a partner of Madrid in Motion, the home team here for this stage. But the home team isn't doing so well. We'll talk about that in a minute. The weather isn't doing so well either. 18 degrees is the temperature as we speak. There's a little breeze. It's quite humid, and as you can see, quite some overcast, quite some clouds up in the sky. But it is dry. Let's be happy about that. The Club Campo de Villa, the country club, with its big dimensions, 172 by 74 meters, and Santiago Varela as their course designer. Some details of this course: 12 obstacles, so a fairly short course. If you look at it, normally we have 13. Now he's taken 12. He's also built Grand Prix rounds with 14, so that's coming up later. Fence 1 to fence 2. Now you go uphill because it's all about the slope here. You go up the hill, and as from here you come downhill again. It's a waiting 7 into the combination of 3A and 3B as you then swoop round by the in-gate to the Mahou upright, the Mahou vertical, there by the big LED screen, and the in and out gate of the Club Campo de Villa, this beautiful ring here. Triple bar, Grupo EULN, oh no, that's Longines rather, than 5 strides uphill, then downhill again, and it is on the outside 7 that you make your way into the Madrid combination. Second of 3 doubles. There's one more double of uprights coming up at the end of this course. 155 in, and going out is 150 by 155. Round you come, and then you're actually running at the highest point of this course at 8, 9 and 10. 10 is already going slightly downhill. 10 is the fence of Porsche. Some do a following 7, others take it on a quiet 8, and then the final line, very delicate plank into the combination of the Global Champions League, the vertical to vertical, the one stride that sits inside at 8 meters 10, and then it's actually quite a gallop to get home. 9 strides to Marques de Riscal, to fence 12, and that's it right there at we're close to the grandstands here at the Club Campo de Villa. This is the course, and it is Santiago Varela who has built it. That is the royal box. As we zoom out and zoom in as well on those 14 teams that will come out for this first round. It's a 2-round competition, as you know. We'll also have a look at the standings at the moment. Global Champions League standings, which have changed drastically after the stage in Shanghai. There in the background, Marta Ortega and the Van der Vleuten family, of course. We went to Shanghai with a 40-point gap between first and last place on the standings. Now that has been reduced to just 25. First, we have a look at the start list. It is Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M. We love horses. Antoine Herman and Olivier Perrault, actually an old French lineup here for the first round. Stockholm Hearts, followed by New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, the debut this season of Scott Brash. Dennis Lynch, star striker not only of the team but also of the league. Robert and Straumann, who makes her debut on Istanbul Warriors, powered by Carpe Diem. And then Can Stars, powered by Iron Danes, with Sophie Hunners on Canturo and Katrin Ackermann on Chowli. Those are, of course, the championship leaders. They only have a 2 or 3 point lead on Stockholm and on Doha. Prague Lions, powered by Czech Equestrian team with Fernando Martinez Sommer and Niels Bruinseels. Remember last last year for Bruinseels went very difficult. It has been going for Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland, but they've brought out their A-team. Cuckoo can just be gentle, Weishaupt and Zinedee. Here, number 3 on the standings, 7th team to go, last team before the break in the middle of round 1. Doha Falcons with Guéry on the returning Kelom de Us, and it is Simon Dlestre as his teammate. Gilles Thomas on Hermitage, John Whittaker on Equine America, Unique de Frappard. Lots of talent there combined over those 4 horses and riders in that team. Mexico Amigos, Nadia Peter-Steiner and Muda Zeyada make up team number 9, and don't forget Mexico Amigos sitting in 9th comfortably at the moment. Ups and downs this season for Rome Gladiators, powered by Clipmahoist.tv, with Marco Kutscher and with Laura Kraut, Karajan and Kung Fu. Shanghai Swans, winners of the previous stage. Jean Sadran makes her first appearance alongside Max Kühner, who is on EIC Julius Kaiser. Then Van der Vleuten and Aznar. Now we're talking about Madrid Emotion, the home team, but they sit second last on the standings. Things are not going well for them. And last on the standings, Scandinavian Vikings, Tovek and Von Eckermann. They go very late, last team to go, Monaco Aces, powered by Lion of Porches, with Luis Felipe de Azevedo Filho on Sierra and Duarte Chebra on Durados. That is the teams, that is the starting order, and this is the warm-up with Olivier Perrault coming down to the ring. Yes, a long pathway from this huge warm-up ring all the way down to the beautiful grass ring of the Club Campo de Villa in Madrid. I believe they're taking a picture of themselves on the big screen. And as Roxette blasts through the speakers, we know that Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, We Love Horses, come riding in. Team sits second on the championship standings, on the same points as Doha Falcons. Doha Falcons are third. Antoine Herman and Olivier Perrault. Herman, who was part of the team in Doha, where he made his GCL debut and straight away managed to produce a clear for the Hearts. Perrault also had one outing for the team, but is still looking for his first clear. Antoine Herman goes first with Odin van Hanegoor.
And Hanegoor is the 10-year-old and 22-year-old French rider, one of the under-25 riders featuring the series, and for team that were top 3 in the early stages in Miami. Stockholm Hearts and their first.
This is fence 1, Gazer. Then you come around, and you go up the hill, Caixa Bank. You move up. This is the highest point, and then you move down. Easy to run past the distance on 7 strides. Looks at Mahou by the ingate. Odin by Kiekeboe, Thunder van de Zuidhoeve and Triomphe de Muse. And a little bit of a clumsy fault there, as Odin didn't pay much attention to that Ola upright. Maybe a touch deep from Antoine Herman, and here on the turn, second fault, very early. And Antoine Herman puts the team on 8 penalties, and there's plenty of jumping still to do, and that for the team that sits second on the championship standing. Oh! Every time, or at least his last 2 rails on the turns, 67.42 seconds. He is almost 10 seconds inside the time allowed, so that will never be an issue. But 3 down for Odin and Antoine Herman. And that means that it is also 3 down for Stockholm Hearts. They will carry those penalties throughout the day. No, it wasn't too deep. Just missed a little bit of punch. Homebred GL events Doré-Dégui with Olivier Perrault. Seven in. Not too much room, I was about to say, in the combination. And he came quite fast to that double. And so the team now already on 16 after one round of jumping. Obviously, no time penalty risk. He's more than fast enough, Olivier Perrault. The finish with 69-1-4, 4 penalties for Perrault, 12 for Herman. That makes it 16 for Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M We Love Horses. All at risk now, exposed to teams like Doha Falcons, Mexico Amigos and Prague Lions, who only sit 1, 2 or 3 points behind on Stockholm Hearts.
A very difficult start for the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M. 16 penalties in Global Champions League round 1 already. Means this might be a very difficult Global Champions League stage for them. New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, are out next. Dennis Lynch is in the ring. If you want to continue watching GCL round 1, you need to make sure you get your GCTV live pass. You can watch every single moment here live from Madrid. Sign up to GCTV and check out the rest of Global Champions League round 1.